end of the show. Now, we're speaking matters of employability and also how to do a CV makeover or a resume makeover. You're someone who's been looking for a job. Maybe you think the issue is you do not have the necessary skills, but maybe you do not have quite the eye-catching resume or eye-catching CV. Or maybe there's some of the things that you need to be doing as you do your job search. Maybe you're not looking in the right direction. Maybe you're looking in the right direction, but not looking in the right way. Those are some of the things we want to have a look at here with one Mr. J, who's here on set with me. Let me just pass over to him and also allow him to introduce himself. If you have any questions, especially for the youth who are searching for jobs or who have any questions with matters of employability, send those questions live. I'll be forwarding them to him as we go on with the conversation. Welcome to set.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, how have you been in the space of employability, HR, CV, all of that?
I've been great, and this is my 4th year in this field.
Yeah, you told me you're celebrating your 4th anniversary this year.
Yeah, I'm celebrating my 4th year anniversary.
When is that?
December 11th.
So December 11th, 4 years ago, you got into this space.
Yeah.
What was the motivation to get into it? And maybe as you do that, you can introduce yourself and the name of the firm.
My name is Jay Walemba. I'm the CEO and founder of JCVs, a company that enhances employability, mostly for the youth. And my motive to start this initiative or this company was I used to work for a company. Basically, after high school, I never got an opportunity to go directly to campus. I didn't have school fees. So I started working in the industrial area as a machine operator, where I worked for 8 years. So during that time is when I decided to enroll and do a HR course. Even though initially I had enrolled to do accounting, but along the way I changed. I even registered with CASNEB and KCA just to study accounting, but the motive changed along the way. So I decided to do HR. And while working in the industrial area, I was working while studying. So after the 8 years there, I decided to move. I got a job with one of the leading supermarkets in Kenya. Then I was employed in 2015, worked for 3 years. Now, in 2018, around June, I developed a condition. I became epileptic, and in the process, I lost my job. So, on trying to get back to the track, I reached out to several HR professionals just to help me get on track now. I had never practiced HR, but I had studied that. So I did letters just to volunteer in some companies. There was no feedback. I could call these people, they could not pick, they could no longer pick. So I decided that basically I had done some groups. I was managing some groups from 2015 where I will post jobs and have these guys link them to the HRs, then get jobs. I will link people that I didn't know. I was in Nakuru, I'm linking people in Nairobi.
And you're not even there?
Yeah, not even there. So by the time I was getting fired, I had 6 groups. So members of these groups had now developed some confidence in me and trust. So they told me, they could ask me that, Jay, we need someone to do our CVs. Can you link us to someone who you know? So I used to link them to another lady, but this lady now, she used to do only one format, and the skills were the same for each position. So when I lost this job, when I lost my job, I could not get an opportunity to volunteer in any organization. I remember at one point I went for an interview at Wilson Airport with another company for an internship position. I have 11 years working experience, but I'm going for internship. So I was rejected also, because even though it was not paying, I had no job, it was not paying, and I really wanted that. So at that point I said that why can I take up this and do CVs for these guys? help them get jobs. So that is how I got that opportunity, and that's how the idea came up.
Right.
Yeah, and
from not getting jobs to helping people get jobs, that is quite a transition there.
Yeah.
And some will say that sometimes maybe, as is the case in Kenya, you've mentioned getting even an internship which you're not paid is already a problem. Getting attachment for most of university students is a problem. And then they ask themselves, what happens then when I'm going to look for a job where I need someone to actually pay me really well? How can people now maybe make that transition, maybe make that leap from not being able to get an internship for free to getting a job that is paid?
Now, and that is where packaging comes in. I've always had discussions with youths, and when I lost this job, and I made when I started the company, I made sure that I had good connections with the HR people, even the biggest companies in Kenya. So what I did, I talked to them. I've helped several students get internships. I've helped several students get attachments through my groups, and through just talking directly to the HR people. So what we need to do is we package ourselves. So what happens with most of the job seekers is that we are money-minded at first. That puts off most of the employers. So what we need to do, you need to package yourself well. And by packaging yourself, when you're doing this, when you're applying for a job, when you're applying for a volunteership, just make it intentional. Tell this potential employer that I'm not basically interested in the money part. Don't even mention it. Just talk. Just make it intentional and say that I will even consider volunteering just to get the skills. Make the skills more important than the stipend. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But what if you have now already gotten into a position where you need to be paid, right? You're looking for a job where that employability now comes in.
Yeah.
Is there a different way to package yourself other than how you package yourself for an internship?
Now, employability, there are several ways that you need to package yourself. First, you need to have a good CV. After the internship and the attachment, you need to have a good CV. A good CV that now will sell you to potential employers. Because being a HR and being a recruiter, there are several things that we look at the CV. And when you are looking at your CV, we basically consider a CV should be precise. I've seen job seekers who just left university having a 5-page CV. I've seen job seekers who left university 6 months ago, this year. They are CEOs. So you are a CEO in your own organization, or you are a CEO in a different organization, but now you are looking for a position as an accounts assistant. So how we package ourselves even in the CVs is an issue. So I will not hire a CEO, whereas I'm a CEO, so we can't be two CEOs in one company.
Right.
So how we package ourselves really matters. And for a job seeker or for someone who just graduated, I don't think you should have a CV that is more than 2 pages. The maximum it should be 1.5 pages. So that it gives a clear indication of who you are. It gives a clear picture of who you are. So that you don't have the necessary information there. That basically when you advertise for a simple position, let's say an accounts assistant or a customer service position, you'll have over, for example, I have 26 groups that I run. You'll have over 500 applications by the end of the day. With 500 applications, do you think that as a recruiter, you'll reach the 500 person who applied for that position?
Not if you're going through 6 pages per applicant.
Yeah. So now that is the headache that we have as HR people. And you will see job seekers saying that HR are bad people.
Yeah.
But it's not. We are not bad. It's just what happens in the job search. Yeah.
All right. So now, you've mentioned that CV needs to be precise. Yeah. Is there too little or is there too much information? What should we leave out of a CV? What is completely unnecessary, or some of the mistakes also that you've seen people make as they submit their CVs to you?
Now, there are the generic information like the age, date of birth, the sex, the gender things, the religion. They are not necessary in a CV. Basically, if you are interested in knowing your gender, we'll just look at the name.
Of course.
Yeah. And so the age is not important unless now a job application has specified that they need a specific age, but still you don't have to put it in your CV. When you are going through the interview or when you pass there, we'll find out that. Yeah.
All right.
So you only talk about, we are interested in knowing the skills that you bring on board, whether they are soft skills or whether they are technical skills. But mostly companies are looking for technical skills. We are looking for problem solvers. Show us that you can solve this problem that the company is having. Yeah.
All right. So we have a CV. Sometimes they ask for a resume. Sometimes they ask for a CV with a cover letter, without a cover letter, or a portfolio. Which one is which?
Now, a CV is your marketing tool, and it presents all the information in terms of the jobs that you've held, and the position that you've held, the responsibilities that you have for that position. Then it has the skills. A resume is shorter. A CV, for me, currently, based on the job side, the industry, a CV should not be more than 3 pages. Whether you are a CEO or whether, the higher you go, the longer the period you've served, or the higher, the more the roles that you held. So a CV now, when you reach the level of a CEO, your CV should be more on the achievements that you've accomplished through your career.
All right.
And when you are a fresh graduate, your CV should consist of skills and the responsibilities that you handle. Okay. These responsibilities are what gives us skills. From reading your responsibilities, understand that if you can do, for example, you are an accountant, you can file returns. I know that this person is good in tax management. So the responsibilities will give us the skills that we need to have from your CV. Now, on the other hand, a cover letter is a customized application letter to a specific position.
Oh, okay.
A cover letter is always customized to fit the JD. So what happens with most of us is that we use an application letter instead of using a cover letter. Yeah.
Okay.
So an application letter, you only change the title. Yeah. But for a cover letter, you'll change the title, you'll change the skills in that position. The technical skills, you'll change the soft skills.
To be
specific to that role. That's why we've said that currently we have what you call the ATS. The ATS is the applicant tracking system. So the applicant tracking system now is what is used especially for bulk applications. And in bulk applications is whereby we have over 500 people applying or 6,000 applying. The other time Total had advertised for a position for internship, and they had over 6,000 applications. They only needed 200 people. So what happens is that now you apply online, you have an account. So when you do your application online and submit everything online, the ATS system screens now the CVs. Now the ATS system is looking for keywords from your CV that will match the job description they have. Yeah.
All right.
So if your CV doesn't meet at least 80% of the keywords that the system is looking for, you'll not go to the next step. You'll not proceed to the next step. So only those CVs that will have passed the 80% mark will reach a human being. That's now when you end up getting invited for an interview. But the other CVs, you'll get an automated reply that you are not successful for this position. Keep trying, or
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you've mentioned keywords, and I'm interested to know, are these also part of what you do in the CV makeover? How's that process like? What do you change when someone brings over their CV or resume for a makeover from you and your team?
Now, what happens is that, as I've said, is that every responsibility, whether you are an accountant, whether you are a HR, whether you are a reporter or a news anchor, your skills are totally different from each profession. So when I'm doing a CV, every responsibility has a keyword, even though there are those responsibilities that will share a keyword. For example, I've talked about an accountant being able to file returns. The keyword in this will be tax management. Then being able, if you are able to process the petty cash, the keyword is petty cash. So each position has its own keywords. When you are in HR, you help in recruitment and selection. The keyword is recruitment and selection. When you are in when you are in customer service, you handle customer complaints. The keyword is complaint management. So those keywords are what should be in your CV. That is what the ATS system looks
Is
for.
looking at.
Yeah.
All right. So now, you've said that is what you do during the CV makeover.
Yeah.
Someone has brought their CV, the makeover is done, they have the perfect CV, they have the perfect resume. The question is now, where do we look for these jobs? Do we go to LinkedIn? Do we go to Facebook and look for jobs near me? Do we go to the newspaper at the back there and look for opportunities? Are there specific pipelines that we have to go through to get these jobs?
No, personally, I started my first group in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I started posting jobs in 2015. So currently I have 26 groups that I run for job search.
Are these physical groups, online groups, WhatsApp groups?
On WhatsApp groups.
Okay.
Sorry, WhatsApp groups. Then I have another group on Telegram. So what happens is that I post jobs on daily basis, more than 50 jobs per day in those groups. And several people have benefited from the groups. And there are those that I also have groups I run for internships and attachments. I also have 2 groups for that. So whereby now I liaise with the HRs that are looking for interns. The interns and the attachers or interns send me their CVs, then I forward to the HRs. Then they get hired. So another area you can look for jobs is on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, you need to be very active on LinkedIn, because when you have a LinkedIn account and you select the jobs that you're looking for, it will always give you notifications when such jobs come up. So LinkedIn is very key as well. And make sure that your profile is up to date and has a professional photo. Then you can be, every information that is on your LinkedIn page should be the same information on your CV.
On your CV. Because
there are some applications that will tell you through LinkedIn to apply. Easy apply. Easy apply.
Send a link
Easy apply is when you just click is apply. It will use the LinkedIn information on LinkedIn to apply for that position.
To auto-fill that.
Yeah.
So this is also part of the packaging, how you package yourself. Have a LinkedIn account that is up to date. Have a good CV and resume. Is there any other way for personal branding in that regard?
Now, also what you're doing is that when you do your CV, we'll have your LinkedIn profile, your LinkedIn URL on your CV. So this one gives any recruiter an easy time to have, when they're doing background checks or when they want to see how you are on LinkedIn, it gives them an easy time. So another thing that you need to have is, I've said, is a cover letter. A cover letter now, it's so specific to a certain position. Normally, we've been using application letters where application letters you just change little information. Yeah, and then you had asked about a resume.
Yes.
A resume is a summary of short summary of your CV, and it should not exceed 2 pages. Whether you have 500 years of experience, or whether you have one.
Yeah, we've seen 90-page CVs, resumes from some of the people in the public spaces.
I looked at that resume and it had so much unnecessary information.
Okay.
And I don't think if we have had such kind of CVs, then we will not, HR will not be doing anything else. They'll just be shortlisting all through.
Yeah, definitely. There's a question here from Santana Sain on Facebook. How do you do CV rewrite or review? At how much? Of course he does. I think we've gone through that. So they're asking at how much?
Now, our rates are dependent on the number of years of experience. That from fresh graduates, we charge 1,000 bob. 1 to 3 years experience, we charge 2K. 3 to 5 years, we charge 2.5. 5 to 8, we charge 3K. 8 to 10, we charge 4K. And anything above 10, we charge 5K.
Anything above 10 years of experience. Yeah. So if you're doing one for Magoha, 10K is good to reduce that 90-page. Resume to something 2.5 pages.
That's right.
Of course, now also after one maybe how do people get into these groups? I think we should do that on the job search. These groups that you're doing, that you have
the links. We share links. Can share links for the groups. We share links everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, we can share links on our social media pages. Share links on Telegram.
What are the social media accounts? Maybe they can be going through them as we head on with the conversation.
JCVs, JAY space CVS. That is on LinkedIn, on Facebook. On Instagram is JCVs 2019. Yeah.
Twitter CVS_J.
J, yeah.
All right. So make sure you're checking that out. And then we get to, job searching doesn't end at maybe just submitting an application or having a good resume. There's that next stage you said after the ATS has already looked at it, you've been shortlisted. There's the interview stage, which most of these jobs have. Is there a way to maybe be also at your optimum during the interview stage, or kama ishafika hapo mambo shwari?
Now, what happens is that, we've had candidates who do not prepare for interviews. Interviews, just like any other responsibility, any other project, you need to prepare. And because the only person that you're coming to interview, so you should always understand the job that you've applied for. We've had candidates where you ask them that tell us about what do you understand by this role. They cannot.
They have no idea.
They have no idea about the role. So when you after you've gotten this invite for an interview, you've gone through the first step of the application process. After you gotten the interview, you need now to engage. If you're not able to handle it yourself, you need to engage as a professional. Have them take you through the interview process. They can give you, they can train you.
There's a way to get coached for an interview.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel whereby we've done a session on interview coaching, and that session was so extensive. I think anyone going through it through the YouTube channel or YouTube channel and on notes on interview preparation, I think they'll be good to go to tackle any interview.
Okay.
But if someone cannot be contented with that, we always do interviews as well.
All right.
We do coaching.
We do coaching. Is there a price to that, or?
Yeah, there's a price because we only charge for our time.
Okay. How much is it for the interview coaching?
Interview coaching, we charge 1,500 per hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I make sure by 1 hour I get it. If it's 2 hours, it's another rate. Okay. That is favorable. So if you want to get coached for any role, right? I'm assuming any role.
And whether you are a CEO, whether you are a fresh graduate, we'll do the coaching.
We'll make sure you do that. There's now an issue which maybe someone like me and my fellow people at work and elsewhere are having to think about, which is how to keep a job. Yeah. So you've gotten the job, right? So part of the issues that leads to unemployment is because people are losing jobs. People are getting laid off, maybe getting fired or resigning. Yeah, maybe the conditions are not favorable. Is there a way that someone can try as much as possible and keep a job, whether they get into a workplace they don't like the people, or maybe the people don't like them, or there are new rules in there? Is there a way to keep a job?
Basically, just like we operate at home, there are rules at the workplace, and mostly when you get an appointment letter or an offer letter, we have what you call the probation period. The probation period is just is used to make sure that we understand you in terms of, we make sure that you are culture fit, you can fit in the culture. Then we see if you are meeting your we have what you call the KPIs. Any person has a KPI at the workplace, the key performance indicators. Are you meeting your goals as they are set? If you are meeting your goals as they are set in any organization, I think you'll be good to keep the job. You meet the goals, then you make sure that you abide by the policies and procedures at that organization. Yeah.
But is HR my friend at the workplace?
HR, HR, we are called the human resources. So the human resources, we are friends of the people, and that's why we want to work with the people. Yeah. Because we have labels.
That sounds like a very technical answer.
No, in most organizations, we have labels, and there are those people who have fear for HRs.
I might be one of them.
HRs are the good people in any organization because we interact with everyone in an organization, and we are the people that should be there to solve your problems. When you have any, we are the people that should be counselors when you have issues at home. We are the people that will handle your staff welfare, your welfare as an individual. We will want to know why you are not performing. You've been performing well, but now you've just changed drastically. HR is someone who will come to you to ask you, why is it that you've dropped? You've been performing well. We don't just fire people because of non-performance.
Because of spite.
What we do is that we tend to get to the root cause of that issue, the issue that is affecting you. Then you can see ways to solve that. If it means rehabilitation, if it's an issue to do with drug abuse, we do that. If it means counseling, we do that. If it means training, the HR will organize for that. Yeah.
All right. So make sure you're checking out JCVs. Maybe just to do you a very quick rundown of some of the things that he's mentioned that they do, the services that they're offering, which you can also see on the screen. ATS optimized CVs and cover letters. Of course, that application system that takes a look at some of the keywords or some of the things that you should be having in your CV and then getting you to the next stage. Job application and support is also services you can get from them. LinkedIn optimization, very important that you have a LinkedIn profile which is up to date and also well optimized by JCVs, yeah. CV reviews and also feedback, they will be able to give it to you. So if you've never had someone have a look at your CV to see whether you're putting in the right skills, right responsibilities, right achievements, and also removing some of that unnecessary information, you can get them to have a look. And also interview coaching. If you have jitters for your interview day, they'll be able to guide you through it, whatever role it is that you are applying for. So maybe a last word, Mr. Walemba, on how to maybe overall package yourself, as mostly people who are watching us, graduates, young people who are trying to get a job, just overall packaging and also trying to be employable on that camera.
Now, what I would like to say is that there's a big gap in terms of job search, whereby most of our youth are giving more importance on things that are not important. And we've seen cases whereby youth cannot afford 1,000 bob to pay for their CVs, but they'll afford for 2,000 to go attend a music concert.
To get a mzinga.
Or go to a music concert organized by to meet an international star. So these things are important. As much as they're important, we need to have the social life. We really need to work on our priorities. Then another thing is that always be formal. When you're looking for a job, be formal. When you're doing a message for someone on LinkedIn, or you're doing a message for any potential employer on Facebook, on WhatsApp, do a complete message. Hi, I'm Jay Walemba. I'm a HR professional. I have skills 1, 2, 3. I'm looking for a position as an intern, or I'm looking for a position as an attaché. If there's any chance, please, or any opening, kindly let me know. So those communication issues have affected most of our youths. Someone will come into your inbox and XA you and they're looking for a job.
Yeah.
So we really want to have people who are professional, because from the outlook, the first impression will always last. So if you approach me with that XA thing, I'll not respond. Personally, I'll not respond. But if you approach me with in a professional way, tell me about your skills, tell me what you've studied and what you're looking for, I'll be able to assist, because in a day, I personally receive more than 200 messages in my WhatsApp. So going through the 200 messages means that, and responding to all of them means that I'll not be able even to do my job. So I have to respond to messages that are complete, but the messages of the hi, how are you, I don't think I'll respond to that until now, maybe on a weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe stay professional at almost all the times, yeah?
Yeah.
Not hi, find at, sasa, find attached. Yeah, don't do that. Be a bit professional. And also, package yourself well for all the stages. As you've heard, there are so many stages towards getting a job just outside of the job search. So do that, and also check out JCVs for that resume and CV